Hey there, savvy viewers. Are you feeling the pinch of rising expenses lately? Now, whether it's taxes creeping in or insurance rates skyrocketing or just a general cost of living giving you a headache, well, you're not alone. But fear not. In today's video, I've got an insider scoop on a hidden gem that could be your ticket to relief. Picture lower taxes, more affordable insurance, and an overall reduced cost of living. Are you intrigued? Stay tuned as we dive into this lesser-known haven that might just change the game for you. Ready to discover your financial oasis? Well, let's dive in. The Treasure Coast of Florida is a very appealing location for people all over the world. But we've seen that it has especially been an area that attracts Florida residents who live in Miami, Dade, and outlying areas. But why is the Treasure Coast such a desirable place to live? Well, that's an excellent question. In today's video, I'm going to get into the specific reasons why people are moving to the Treasure Coast, what you should know when you're moving to the Treasure Coast, and the common mistakes that people are making when they move here. Now, I've compiled some stats for you, and the stats of people moving here are pretty compelling. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the Treasure Coast has seen a substantial population growth over the last decade. Now, for example, St. Lucie County's population actually increased by 18.5% between 2010 and 2020, and Martin County's population increased by 8.3%. Now, growing at a slower rate, Indian River County population has grown 12 out of the last 12 years, with an average annual increase of 1.6% from 2010 to 2022. Now, another quick factoid for you, Port Saint Lucie, the third largest city in Florida, has the second fastest growing rate among metro areas in the nation, with at least 500,000 residents. Now, Port Saint Lucie's population growth is in direct result to affordable home prices and safety. According to a recent study by IPX 1031, Port Saint Lucie has the second highest rate of home ownership in the country for cities with at least 100,000 people. So you have a very stable, owner-centric population, which lends to higher sense of community. The Treasure Coast includes Hobe Sound, Jensen Beach, Stewart, Port Saint Lucie, and Fort Pierce, and areas of Vero Beach as well in Indian River County. Some reasons people move to the Treasure Coast include the natural beauty, stunning landscapes including tranquil beaches, natural history sites, state and local parks, and a diverse culinary experience for you foodies out there. Now, the Treasure Coast offers a relaxing Florida lifestyle with a sense of privacy in an area where there is little aggression on the roadways and an elevated sense of community and a connection amongst the residents. Now, I mentioned earlier the percentage of home ownership, and I think that lends to a stable community without a sense of this transitory population that has more of this like renter mentality. Now, why are there less renters in Port Saint Lucie? Well, it's because homes in Port Saint Lucie can be more affordable to buy compared to other South Florida housing markets. A recent study, according to realestateexpoinc.com, showed the median selling price for homes in the Treasure Coast is $372,000, while the median selling price for Miami was $556,000. Now, Port Saint Lucie is recognized as the safest, largest city in the state for more than a decade. According to Neighborhood Scout, Port Saint Lucie overall crime rate is 9 per 1,000 residents, which is near the national average for cities and towns of all sizes. Now, U.S. News reports that in 2020, Port Saint Lucie's violent crime rate was lower than the national average, and its rate of property crime was also lower than the national rate. Now, I mentioned the crime rate, and I think that's highlights the biggest concern parents have, the safety of their children. Now, compiled with that, Port Saint Lucie and the Treasure Coast is also known for its miles of beautiful white sand beaches, the shallow waters, which are as clean as they are safe for children to play, or mongrels to play for that matter. Now, which in turn, this makes it a less stressful environment for the parents of these children and monsters alike. Port Saint Lucie and the Treasure Coast has an abundance of activities that include, but are not limited to, the great inshore and offshore fishing, and this huge assortment of public and private golf courses, water sports like kayaking, paddleboarding, recreational boating, and both kiteboarding and surfing as well. Now, a few of the local attractions include Indian Riverside Park and Jensen Beach. That also has a children's museum there with a splash pad for the kiddos to play and cool off in. We also have a white sand beach there that has access to the Indian River lagoons. Now in Jensen Beach, you also have the beach volleyball. If you have not been to the beach sand volleyball area, it looks like Venice, California over there. In fact, Primetime Magazine called it the top spot for beach volleyball on the Treasure Coast. In Vero Beach, there's the McClarty Treasure Museum, which is located on the Barrier Island at the north end of Indian River County. In Stewart, you have the Elliott Museum located on Hutchinson Island. This museum has a variety of exhibits, collections, and an off-the-chain antique car collection that will impress even you non-car buffs. Now back up to Vero Beach, you got the Vero Beach Museum of Art. This showcases a super diverse collection of modern and contemporary art from local and international artists. Port Saint Lucie Botanical Gardens has a butterfly garden, an orchid exhibit, and a rose garden, and it's a good place to go for a stroll to see the spring flowers. And be sure you check out the incredible bonsai exhibit there as well. It's one of my absolute favorites. Now, other things to do on the Treasure Coast include, but are not limited to, you've got Disney's Vero Beach Resort, you got the Sailfish Splash Water Park in Stewart. Catalina absolutely loves. I got a lazy river there. I actually kind of like it myself. We got the Smithsonian Station up there in Fort Pierce. The list goes on. The quality of life up in this area for me is like no other. This is a place where I have chosen to bring my family because it reminds me of where I came from. It just has that relaxed Florida lifestyle. I used to live down in South Florida. I don't care for that area anymore unless I want to go down on a Friday or Saturday and go to the Kravis Center or a game down in Miami. Now, before moving to the Treasure Coast, there's 3 things that I want you to consider. First, it's a very laid-back lifestyle. I kind of mentioned this earlier. We don't have the same level of amenities like concert venues like the Hard Rock Stadium where the Miami Dolphins play. We also don't have like the multi-purpose sports and entertainment Kaya Center where the Miami Heat play. They all have traffic and logistic issues that come with these large event centers. However, that's the exact reason why people are moving here, as they yearn for a slower pace and a lower congestion. And that laid-back lifestyle, it does come with its drawbacks. However, any and all of these venues that host these professional sports games, concerts, and special events, they're all within a 2-hour drive of most points on the Treasure Coast. Second, in most cases, they're going to be more distance you're going to drive to travel to get to these amenities, whether that's a beach or a golf course or a shopping plaza. You're just going to have a little bit more distance. And that means a little bit more time in the car to get what you're looking for. I don't mind spending more time in the car as long as I'm moving and not stuck in some bumper-to-bumper traffic, which is not a favorite pastime of mine. Now, third, public transportation is a bit more limited than our sister counties to the south. However, Brightline Railway next stop has just been approved for Stewart. So that should open things up to the daily commuter options for people that may want to live in an affordable area with a laid-back lifestyle while working in one of those southern counties. Now, we do have people say it's an issue not having an international airport in Port Saint Lucie or the Treasure Coast. However, Palm Beach International Airport is anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes to an hour from most places in Port Saint Lucie or the Treasure Coast. While Fort Lauderdale International is up to 90 minutes and Miami and Orlando International Airports are respectively about a 2-hour drive. So you have lots of options for your international travel with a little bit of a drive, and then with the Brightline coming, you won't even have to deal with the drive. Now, if you're looking for a high-paying job, then Port Saint Lucie or the Treasure Coast may not be for you as well. This area kind of lends itself more to a retirement community than the hustle and bustle and the higher paying jobs that come with major metropolitan areas. But if you have a work from home job, this will definitely not be an issue for you. So I've tried to outline for you the pros and the cons of moving to Port Saint Lucie or the Treasure Coast. And for me, lifestyle and quality of life mean less traffic and an overall general sense of community that far outweigh the cons. I want my environment to be the most conducive to my success, my peace, and my relaxation. We're not bashing Miami here, but these are the reasons that people have told us that are causing them to move to the Treasure Coast. So if you're considering moving to Port Saint Lucie or the Treasure Coast and you're still not sure, please reach out to us. We'd love to have a conversation with you about what's important to you about the area that you plan to move to and how we can find you the right fit for the right type of home in the right price point in the right area that suits your wants and needs. Now, if you're moving to the Treasure Coast and are thinking about Port Saint Lucie, I did a video on Port Saint Lucie West where you can see the houses that are available in the area. So if you're considering moving to Port Saint Lucie, go check that video out next, and we'll see you on the next video.